introduce her instead. First of all, can we get a round of applause and thank you to Weave for sponsoring? Thank you so much. Next, if you haven't joined the Forge Slack already, it's
ForgeUtah.tech.
ForgeUtah.tech. Join the Slack. It's just a dev community. It's not like there's nothing there other than other people who want to talk about tech.
And if you talk about something that's not tech, it goes in a random channel. And if you put it in a not random channel, we will tell you to put it in the random channel.
It's pretty heavily policed. It's nice. Beyond that, for an introduction to Mariah, she does Twitch streaming for code, and she also, you're a certified Go developer, right?
Yes, I am oh gosh, I didn't want the whole thing, Peter. I am a Google developer expert for Go. Yes, so that's as certified as you can get.
So I'm going to apologize to you guys. Jacob Peterly canceled today. Sounds like he's having some.
His basement flooded last night.
I was just going to say personal troubles.
And his new house that he just moved into.
So he's not speaking tonight. Mariah's going to do a very similar demonstration of what he was going to do, though. So if you came for the vibe coding, that's what we have.
Still vibe coding.
Enjoy the pizza, and we'll talk more about that after. Take it away, Mariah.
Thank you. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for coming. We'll still do vibe coding. Unlike Jacob, I am not an AI engineer. That is not my job title. My job title is data engineer. But I moonlight. We all should. Sweet. So, let me just my window here. Sorry. We stream all of our stuff, and so I just have a nice little terminal session going over here on the side on OBS. And we're all good. Okay. Cool. Let's get started. The plan today is literally just to make some code changes using only text. I will not write any code. I may do a git pull, but that's it. That's the only code I will write. Like I said, there's swag back there if you want to grab some. I'm trying to get rid of it because I am moving and I don't want a box of swag at my house. And yeah, I'm Mariah. So here is the app we're going to edit. It is where's Discord? It's a Discord app. So I just have a little Discord app over here. Labor Day stream, that was the alert. So we just have a Discord app I made a while ago. It's called Pedro. It has this really cool feature called Stump Pedro. And if you're playing Stump Pedro, which you can't see over here, because it's all at the bottom, all you have to do is give Pedro, so this is 20 questions, right? So if we want Pedro to be able to guess elephant, it calls my self-hosted LLM, and it starts this nice little thread that you can't see. And it says, you're playing 20 questions. Are you thinking of something that can be held in your hand? And then you say, no, it can't be held in my hand. And it contains everything in this nice little thread, right? It's a completely self-contained little text game, if you will. Pedro has another functionality, which is Ask Pedro, and this is just normal, like how you would ask ChatGPT a question, right? And then you just say, what color is the sky? And it says, processing your question, and then, Pedro's still talking. Oh, and then you see how it just responds below with a tag? I want to get rid of that. I want to make it have the nice little on the side self-contained, there we go. Self-contained experience that we had before with the 20 questions, where it throws something on the side and you can continue to have that conversation with the AI in Discord. Because here I can't reply, like it's done with the operation. So we'll go over here. And so, now I have to, and my daily driver currently is Claude Code. And so we'll just open that up. I said I will not do any software. So we'll start with this and we'll say, okay, I want to make the Ask Pedro command in Discord. Feel free to interrupt me and ask questions, just like you would if you were Twitch chat. Twitch chat's whole job is to distract me while I'm writing code. Now that's your job. Please distract me so that we can see how long it takes me to get anything done. So ask any questions, feel free, raise your hand, I'll pay attention.
What model is Pedro?
What model is Pedro? Pedro is, good call. Pedro is running on a thing at home, old version, Llama 3.8, no. It is the LM Studios quantized 4K version of Llama 3.1. That's what it is. I was trying to go find the command. We're not going to get that. That's what it is. It's a Llama 3.1, but it is a 4 gigabyte quantized version of that. Okay. I want to make the Ask Pedro command in the Discord library handle threads like the stump Pedro command does. And this is probably all I need to give it.
Are you calling Pedro to edit himself?
Nope, I'm using Claude's, well, it uses Claude Sonnet, actually. No, I'm not as cool as you, Chris. That's later. I'll show you, anyway. I have Crush open over here, but we'll get to that after I make the Claude code edits. So it's like looking for Stump Pedro and Ask Pedro. Claude Code's really good at telling you what it does. It's also, generally speaking, really good at reading text files. That's the one thing I found that it does better than I do, is read. I like to forget where things are. And it'll take a long time. So, actually, does anybody, while we're doing here, does anybody use do you use like AI agents like Copilot that do tab completion, or does anybody use Windsurf or Cursor? Cursor?
What code?
Oh, I know there's more than one AI coding agent enthusiast in here. Claude Code, or, I have used.
Both.
You use both? You use Cursor in, do you use
Claude Code in
Cursor
Cursor.
terminal?
Yeah. Both augment.
Augment? Does anybody use the Gemma CLI? Gemma CLI? I've never experimented with Gemma CLI. And I tried to download Codex once, but I couldn't figure out how to download their CLI, so I gave up. So, I gave up on that. See, look, it just says, do you want to start a message thread, right? Oh, look, I even had a to-do in here from forever ago. So now when Ask Pedro happens, you start a message thread, and then you send a channel message. Yeah, we'll edit that. I could have done, there was an option at the bottom that said, like, edit everything for the session. I almost never do that because I'm scared that it'll do something I'm not aware of. I don't think it's a bad deal. I know people that do that, but it's, whatever. Okay, make a new branch and commit it GitHub.
Stoplights all the time.
See, so now it's gonna make a new branch and commit it to GitHub.
So this is a command.
And it's all done.
So it's just this command. It's just not.
Yes. See, pretty easy.
Apple or something.
It's so easy to just
I've seen those three
write code,
lots.
everything. Actually, there's one thing it didn't do,
All the time, and I'm like,
and that is handle replies to the thread. So while we're doing that, I can actually, while it's doing processes, I can type new things. So I'll go ahead and it'll say, there's an option in Claude Code called plan mode where you get it to tell you what you want it to do before it does it. So we say, make me plan, I have now activated plan mode, for how to handle thread replies to a thread. Also, we want to, we want to send the whole thread to the LLM so it has a complete context.
We misspelled the.
You want to know something?
She's doing well, don't.
I can't spell A. B, I have noticed they don't care. They do a really good job with misspellings.
Misspell, they just figured.
If it couldn't handle misspelled words, I don't think I would be able to use a coding editor.
You should actually A/B test that.
I should?
Yeah. That would be really interesting for a lot of people. A/B test, if I spell the correctly every time, does it give me a different answer than if I misspell?
Oh, okay.
Doesn't it just give you a different answer all the time?
You can put a seed in,
100%.
and then it won't give you a different answer all the time.
See, notice how I did plan mode? Now it's taking a long time and making a plan. And now it says, this is what you're gonna do. Here is your plan. Current Discord message stores individual messages. Yeah, it does. In a message channel, so this channel of messages is a Go channel. Anyway, not that you actually care. It's a Go channel, and the reason a Go channel allows me to asynchronously send the messages to Discord without affecting the LLM processing. That's why it's called channel messages. It just allows a little bit, it allows me to run the Discord server at the same time I run a Twitch server, and at the same time I'm running an LLM server. So I don't have competing processes, I have parallel processes. That's it. Create messages in the context thread. Use a session to get the full thread history. Okay. We haven't been using channel messages to get a history of threads, but like we'll try it. Parse messages, chronological conversation. We'll have to do that. Enhance the database schema. Yeah, you need to add everything to the database. Modify the thread, the formatted conversation. Yeah, it needs to keep track of who's talking, right? That's part of the whole thing, is keeping track of the history and assigning roles. Check if Ask Pedro thread, get the full thread conversation, convert to message format. Yeah, that's fine. Store. But this is this is what I was really interested in figuring out how to do. How to store thread context in memory. Essentially, it's going to somehow store in memory history and then time it out. That's not how I've handled it in any of the previous implementations of this. I've either pulled an entire thing from the database, or as I do with when I do the pagination for the other thing, for what do we call it, 20 questions? When I do the pagination for 20 questions, what I actually do is for each 20 questions game, I keep chat history in memory, and then essentially I erase that when the termination event happens, so that I can have multiple events running concurrently without having to do anything weird. So error handling and then testing, end-to-end tests and performance. Yeah, no, I will. Let's go ahead and just, yeah, that's fine. You gave me a plan, so I'll let you do everything. So go. Now, this is the part where the Twitch stream gets really boring. So now we go and check Twitch chat, which I have here in Discord, and I say, hi, I have Copilot Pro for free. Rug Matt's my friend in Canada. Say hi, and we're
Can you refuse it, Matt? Can you tell them no?
No, I don't want Copilot for free. Hi. He's like, and then that's my coworker on my team talking about us like we're not even here. You're here now. So while this is accepting all auto edits, let's go over here. So right here, does anybody know how Apple does the cool new, never mind. My phone's over there. So this is, sorry. I'm sure you're all super excited about this. I was really excited about it last week. But this right here is, well, let's just start over. Now we just have an empty terminal, so I'm gonna SSH into a Raspberry Pi, and it says, Mariah, why are you SSHing into a Raspberry Pi? Because I can do that from my phone. And so if I can SSH from my phone onto a Raspberry Pi and type crush, well, sorry, I should actually navigate to the actual code repo thing first. If I can, and then I can CD into I am Pedro, which is my Pedro bot, and then run crush. So crush is just like is an open source coding agent. You edit it through prompts. The difference being this is not tied to one model, right? Claude Code is only tied to Anthropic's Opus or Sonnet or Haiku, I think is their other model. They allow you to access through that. Crush allows you to use any model. It's written by the Charm CLI, which means it's a TUI, terminal UI, instead of a REPL. I don't know why that matters, and I should have Googled that, but I didn't. And it's a Twitch stream. We could Google it now, but I'm sure chat will tell us. Chat, what's the difference between a REPL and, well, I guess you guys are chat too. Chat and meetup audience. What's the difference between a REPL, which is this, and a TUI? Anybody know?
Marketing.
Marketing? So they're the same.
There's a lot of overlap, enough that people won't care unless it's specific. Like this is a REPL and a TUI. You're in a REPL and a TUI at once in Claude Code.
Okay. They just called it the different word.
REPLs tend not to manage the back buffer
Okay.
stuff.
The reason I like Crush is it's written in Go. And if you know anything about me, I find any opportunity to market Go as a certified Go expert, right? So this is just like the other things. But I can SSH into it from my phone and edit code when I'm walking my dogs, which, how many of you want to do that? That is a question. And this is the cool thing. The one thing I did want to show you is you can just, like I said, it offers a lot of different models. So you can just basically throw up an API key. So this is the Anthropic models, OpenAI models, Gemini models, Grok models, and then open source models that are hosted anywhere else, right? Grok, OpenRouter, wow. Where was the other one I was looking for? This was the one I didn't know Lambda Labs hosted things.
And Cerebrus.
Cerebrus was what I was looking for. Yeah, Cerebrus, like anything that hosts open source, Hugging Face. Essentially, you can just hook up to here and pull it. I have Claude. So I don't know. This one worked the other day when I did it. And so, yeah, I wanted to do. So if I don't. You can, sorry, I just totally lost my brain for this. Oh, I was gonna say, the cool you can add LSP tool calls and MCPs to this just like you can to Claude Code. So it's very much almost identically configured. It has a different prompt when it calls the APIs, but other than that, it works very, very similar. So I can do the exact thing. I could be like, okay, great. I want to make my Discord bot command or ask Pedro handle. I should have left it the other way and see if it did the misspelled Pedro. Handle, oh gosh, threads. This is also what my Twitch streams are like. I completely can't code and think at the same time. It's great, but usually chat's distracted me. You guys aren't distracting me enough.
You're not paying attention to chat. We're having a ball.
Oh, are you in chat? Todd's in chat? Sweet. Feel free to go use Pedro in my Discord channel as well. Like, it's live. You can go DDoS Pedro really well. All you have to do is give it more than 4 calls at a time. DDoS. And if your Pedro's also in Twitch chat, so it does handle, I think, 7 at a time from Twitch chat. So just because, like we do in the Stump Pedro commands, make sure to handle history so the entire conversation is given to the LLM. Sweet. So this is the difference. It looks like this. And it gives you code, and it's just, essentially, we're using the same models. Why isn't it Shift Tab? Plan mode on. Hey. Why did you stop? Hey, why don't you make the changes from the plan? Clearly, you don't know how to use plan mode. Oh, gosh. And then, like I said, you can allow for the session, deny. So I can give it tools to run. I thought grep was one of the tools. Well, I want you to. So there is a JSON config file for this that was set up last week at Todd's Hack Night and was not working today. So I didn't have time to debug that. So yeah, we should just see, since they're doing the exact same thing, which one finishes first. They're also theoretically using the same models. So
So are these both running on your Pi, or are they?
this one's local.
Okay.
Cloud Code's local. I do not have Cloud Code on my Raspberry Pi because this is in Go. I figured it'd be super lightweight as opposed to this, which is a TypeScript REPL. I did not actually do any CPU comparison. I just judged.
Vibes.
I literally just judged TypeScript as being verbose. Oh, okay, so this one's prettier.
So sort of dumb, derailing question here. How much RAM is on your Pi, and like?
Oh, my Raspberry Pi? This
Yeah.
is a Raspberry Pi compute mod. You are getting my blog post that I have written before I finish it. So it is just a 4 gigabyte RAM compute module.
Okay.
So this is a Pi 4. So like I said, the only thing on this running is the Crush right now. There's no background, nothing.
But it's able to do that with feeding it context. It'll.
Okay, so the only thing it's doing is making API calls. Like literally,
Okay.
there's no processes running at the same
Sorry, I thought you were running the model
I
locally.
am not running this model locally.
Okay.
Now, if I wanted to give you a demo of running the model locally, what I would have done is run Olama on this machine and used localhost, and you would have been like, oh, so cool. But I didn't have time to set that up.
No, yeah, I thought you were running some big model on a Raspberry Pi, and I was
No,
confused as to how
but
that
Chris
was.
does that. Not on a Raspberry Pi, on a
cluster.
Yeah.
cluster. And he uses Crush with his locally hosted one. And I tried to set that up at Todd's Hack Night. Anyway, for context, Todd right here is my friend. And Todd, my friend, runs a meetup every 2 weeks. He didn't go to the last one. I call it his Hack Night. He wasn't there. Where we just bring our computers and build things. That's all we're doing. So when I say Todd's Hack Night, it's the Foundry meetup. We bring our computers and build things. I was trying to get this working on my phone with a self-hosted model on a different machine. Didn't work. That's why we're using the Anthropic models. Because I got it, it works on my phone with Anthropic, not with the self-hosted. But Pedro calls self-hosted, right? So keep it all straight, all the models I'm using. This is to add, okay. So currently, ooh, this is interesting. So here is an interesting part. So in Twitch, on the Twitch chat, how we call Pedro is we use a prefix, right? So all you have to do is use the word Pedro in a Twitch message and it calls the LLM. This is superfluous. I don't know why we would want, we don't need to handle Pedro, we just need, I don't want a prefix. I don't want a prefix handle every response. Oh, I just got billed by Anthropic. I must have spent $5. That is also the reason why I want to use my self-hosted model. So I pay for Cloud Code, I do a monthly subscription. There's no monthly subscription option for the Crush with Anthropic models. So this is $5 over the last week. So it's not like it's super expensive, but anyway, I don't want to handle prefixes on Discord,
It's just an Asian.
threads, handle every
Gotcha.
reply. Cool. I guess they think they've edited it, so they're gonna do a go build. Oh, we don't do go build from home. So we don't need to build from home. So I have this, we need to build from, oh, let's just leave it misspelled, right? Because I told you that it didn't care if I could spell or not, right? CLI, Discord,
I'm serious.
Discord, Go.
I actually like it.
If you know anything about Go, this is my main file. It's really not that. I told you I wasn't going to write any code, so we don't even have to look at code. I mean, we do have to look at code. That's the only thing you have to do is pretend to know what the code is saying. Because you can just have Quad Code compile it and run tests for you, so. Limit to 100 messages per request, that's fine. Trim spaces, ask Pedro. Why are you still doing, why, can you just get rid of the is ask Pedro thread? No, I don't want, I want you to get rid of the is ask Pedro thread function and not check that. See, okay, allows. I really want to see which one builds it first, because we're going to go test it on my Discord server. Yes, that. Okay, so this one, handle DB error, send message channel. I should read the code logically from top to bottom, not bottom to top, right? Like, that makes more sense. Handle messages, convert to thread message, last message ID, yes. For message ranges, it adds a human username if it's human type, otherwise it's chat type. This is just a library I'm using that allows me to do that. I have a different PR that removes that library, but we're not worried about that right now. Yeah, make that change. This is, oh, I guess the build failed, so they're trying to change that. I still like the colors though. How do you feel about the colors versus the, does anybody else just think this is aesthetically more pleasing?
Oh, yeah.
That's what sold me on it.
Like, you just aesthetically more pleasing?
Especially the vaporwave color scale at the top.
Yes.
Can you change it?
Hey,
Yes.
Dylan.
Yeah.
That crush is a gradient.
It is.
That's a joke from work. Except edits on. Oh, I guess it's decided it can just change things for me now. I don't remember changing that. Do you remember changing that? I told it to, but then I untold it to, right? Chat, did I untell it to? Oh, Todd's just, oh, somebody's making a clip of me. Oh, Todd's checking out clips.
I told Matt to link me, and he did.
Rug's the best. Oh yes, look. It's running Go vet for me. Can you tell that it was written in Go because it knows all the Go tools? Somebody added content. I'm just saying that has to be something in the prompt where where they have it do checks, because Claude Code does not have it do checks unless you've specifically asked it to do those kinds of things in a previous history. Let me check if you have a script for linting. Not on this. I do not on this Raspberry Pi. I have Golang CI. I don't think I installed Golang CI lint.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Does Claude Code support rule sets? Like,
Yes.
can you have like a dot rules? Like cursor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now
What,
No,
what is it called?
that is what we. That is so. I believe it is in one of these things. It's not hooks.
I think it currently does the agents.md.
It does have agents.md.
Okay, cool.
But, okay, Vim mode does not let you edit the code. It just turns off and on insert in normal mode, so you're just sit there and you're like, why is my typing not working? It's because you're not in insert mode, so it's like kind of dumb, Vim. Anyway, you set it with one of these things, Chris. I don't remember if it was in context or hook.
Does anyone know that off the top of their
I
heads?
don't even like hooks. Does anybody set rules like,
But Claude.md.
yeah, you could do it in Claude.md, but like Crush actually uses cursor rule syntax so that you can import it across cursor, which is slightly different. But yes, you would have to set it either in the Claude.md or in an agent or something else like that.
You can also do like the I think it's the .clot folder, similar, but it's like an older version, like it feels funky.
Gotcha.
I'm not trying to sell you on it.
It's like a config.json in there or something else.
There's a bunch of like conventions depending on what you're trying to do, like you can add slash commands and stuff to it. But some of it's JSON, some of it's Markdown, all that jazz.
So they think they did it. They didn't. Did you add any tests? Any tests? And it queues messages just like Claude does. Cool. So did you make a branch and commit the changes? Then they're done at the same time? The funnest thing I like about Claude Code is it sometimes, I don't think it ever invents words, but it definitely uses words that I would never say colloquially, like fibberty-gibbeting,
Discombobulating.
discombobulating, all those weird things.
Were you talking about sketching just now?
Yes, sketching, it changes those to be other weird words that mean doing something.
Trying to add variety to the CLI.
That's what we wanted to see a lot.
That's what we wanted to CLI.
But no,
We have screenshots of like different grades and stuff that is just wildly inappropriate to the task at hand.
100%. I do sometimes when the words get funny, just like screenshot them because they're like weird words that I don't think are actually synonyms. Oh, test files do not exist. Okay. Did you make tests? I always like to have it make tests for me because then I can say I am not a lazy developer. Where's my, so the other cool thing, oh look, we have 3 people watching, guys. We did it.
I'm one of them.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks, Todd, for boosting the algorithm. So notice how we have 2 things here. We have Ask Pedro threads. The cool thing, I think this is super cool, is it has just a generated with Claude Code here. And Claude Code gets added as an author on GitHub. Crush does the exact same thing. So if I go over here and I edited it, oh, they didn't add the cool thing to the message. Well, that's lame. But, what? Where'd you go? Do you think it's in the same branch? Well, I had another one somewhere that, was it this one? Was it this one? No? On a different repo somewhere. It had, I could go find it. I have like work code attached to it. Anyway, it does the same thing for Crush. So it has a Crush user that gets attached as an author, and I just think that's so cool. Okay, you are called feature add threads. Clearly Claude Code is better at commit messages. Should we test it?
Yes.
Thank you. So, where did you go? Okay. It's baking. It literally said it was baking, and tell me how, anyway. That was my point. If somebody wants to go hit the AC back there, this room is hot, and it's just turned off. You just need to turn it on. So we'll go.
Back here.
Where's my remote desktop? I know that you're open. I just don't want you to be. That's the wrong remote desktop. Sorry. Remote desktop. Okay. So I am really good at deploys. So I just have this VM sitting over here, that runs the Discord app on a branch. Control C, so we'll just do git, fetch, and I use git to manage my deployments, like any good Twitch streamer should do. So we'll do git checkout. Oh gosh, it is Control Shift V, ask Pedro threads. And then we should just be able to run that,
That was the screenshot.
and this should work. Ask Pedro threads, which one was that? Which model ran Ask Pedro threads? Was it this one or this one? Which? Oh yeah, Ask Pedro threads was this guy. Oh yeah, make tests. Which branch are you? I do this all the time. One time I asked Claude Code if it understood emoticons, and it got mad at me. It said, "You should really only use me to edit text and not ask stupid questions." And I was like,
Little do you know.
and I was just like, okay, so this is Mariah threads, and this is Ask Pedro threads. So, oh, did you work? Oh gosh, come on.
So he's not prepared for the robot revolution.
So right now, Ask Pedro threads is running. So if we were to go over here and just do Ask Pedro, we're using a new branch. What color is the sky? Will it make a thread? Will it do it? Oh, it made a thread. What color is the sky? Okay, now let's see. Oh, great, it gave you the hex codes if you wanted to know the hex code of the sky.
Is that trying to call a function, or why is that?
There is wording in the prompts to tell it to only talk to software engineers, okay? Like I have an audience.
No, yeah, I wonder why it's like, it's a hex in parentheses, and then, oh, by the way, that's also the same hex code in hex.
That's a good point.
Yes, it's trying to specify, anyway. What color is the grass? Notice how I didn't make a UI? I really stick to my brand when I'm coding. That's a lot of context you guys probably don't have. Still no errors, so that's good. I don't know. Anybody feel free, you can go make multiple, like, this is usually when Rug Matt starts to do like something else on the side and break things, but he probably went to bed. It's pretty late in Canada. I don't think. Okay, so if I was a smart person, I would go check to see if the LLM had posted to the reply, but I'm gonna take that as it does not handle replies very well. So this is what I do next. Okay, we're almost done. So I tested it on Discord, and it did, and the LLM did not respond to my reply. Help me debug that. I do that a lot. I say help me debug things whenever I get Kubernetes errors.
What are your favorite like GitHub integrations? Like you're using like CloudBot or like CodeQL?
In GitHub?
Yeah.
None, because I'm really... You missed the part where I said I'm frustrated that Crush isn't self-hosted. I will occasionally, so I haven't set up the Claude Code GitHub action. That's something I do want to do personally. We do have that set up at work, but not on my repos, only on the other repos that are TypeScript, because Go code is just better. For GitHub, I want to write my own. That's the thing, is I want to have a GitHub action call my self-hosted one. So that's the only reason I haven't set anything up yet. If anybody else in the audience has any coding plugins that they like, we've been messing with the CursorBot plugin at work. Yeah, yeah. That does comments. Sometimes they're pretty helpful. And obviously we have the Claude integration at work. That's pretty helpful as well. I've done Copilot reviews. It usually only catches stupid things, but they're stupid things I didn't catch, so it's fine. I haven't really done anything else with GitHub though, so.
Nice.
What are you doing? It's thinking. What? That's, I don't know why it's importing this, because it's already in the Go mod, but yeah, sure. Okay, so since this didn't work, let's check out the other branch. Oh, look, bad request, starting thread. Sorry, Chris, if you were trying to ask it something, I canceled it. I'm gonna check out the other branch. I'm gonna see so that was the Ask Pedro threads, which was written by Cursor, and this is handling thread reply. This was written, not Cursor. This one, well, Claude Code was the first one. This one is written by Claude Opus 4, but using Crush. So again, the prompt is very different, even if it can use MCPs. Oh gosh, Control-Shift-V. Hate using VMs. Okay, let's run you, and we'll see if it handles threads. So far, I did not log any sensitive information, so we're doing good, Mariah. It's only in the database. That was a joke. Laugh. Okay, this is our last thing, and then we'll probably just open it up for questions, because it's been, what, like 30 minutes? Half an hour? 45 minutes? I've been doing the stream for 41 minutes. Okay, what color is the sky? Is there a seahorse emoji? Okay, it did make a thread, so we did. It still gave me hex codes. But only when I'm looking at it from a Go routine.
You missed that part. That's the next.
This is Mariah's prompting really being bad. I'd say it's a lovely blue. Okay, so what color is the grass? Does it handle replies? That was the question, right? Error. Failed to store response, failed to store response, failed to write to DB, failed to write to DB. Yeah, it didn't write to the database. But it responded!
Wow.
Guys,
Progress.
clearly we're going to be deleting one of these PRs and keeping the other one. Cool. A simple yet effective question from the queen herself.
Well trained.
Guys, do you want to see the prompt that it's getting sent this, just so that you can just understand? Oh, this is okay. So if you do this, you can open an external editor, which opens Vim. I don't know why it's open to that, but can I tape to the? I can. Okay, I'll show you. It is AI Discord chat setup. Is this where I store my prompt? Oh gosh. Pedro. What do you mean it's not a committed? Clearly it's not. It's using Vim, but not my Vim configs.
You can get it too.
I'm sure I could. I just never set that up. This is how you exit Claude Code, but it doesn't work here. But if you type exit, it does. I just wanted to show you my prompt so you could all laugh at me. Where was it? Oh, I was just going to
Pedro for the system prompt.
No, it's called Pedro prompt, sorry. Pedro prompt is what the system prompt is called. Where'd you go? It used to be called Pedro prompt. With a capital P. Where's my prompt? Oh gosh.
Why don't you ask Pedro, does that know?
No. Pedro, there it is.
Is unaware.
Oh, there it is, found it. Here it is. Your name is Pedro, you're a chatbot for my Discord server, blah, 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 self-dot developer. If you're unable to respond, just be polite. Don't talk about Java or JavaScript. Not as bad as I thought it would be, but anyway, it could use some work, but it's really short and sweet. Anyway, so we'll just wrap this one up. I'll turn the lights up. Do we have any questions for me as we wrap up? Go ahead.
I have a question for whoever.
Yeah, anybody can answer. Like,
How does the self-hosted LLMs compare to Quad code?
Chris?
You have a lot more control with the self-hosted, so if you know what you expect, then they're way better. If you don't have a single idea, or you are just looking to get 70% of the way there, then there's no reason not to use the enterprise ones.
What kind of control are you talking about?
I mean, like logic manipulation, right? If you want to make sure that it always spells names right for real-time tasks, like that's one very easy way to do it and make sure it never hallucinates. If you needed to only output true or false and never output anything else, that's how you do it.
I'm asking for coding specifically.
Yeah, if you want the LLM to be part of a larger program, right? You can get the LLM to respond programmatically and you can force it to do that with local LLMs. You can't do that with the enterprise ones, but you can do like structured output with the response or with the enterprise ones, which ends up behaving very similar a lot of the time. You have edge cases where it doesn't, and those crop up more often than I think they want advertised.
Do you do vibe coding with it, or just?
Do I do vibe coding with it?
Yeah. Or just use it?
I mean, you use Crush.
I use Crush. I use it really often. I don't know. I kind of switch between several models at the moment, but like I've found that Kimi K2 is a real win if you have the VRAM to run it. I've found that like when GPT-5 and Claude Opus 4.1 are writing loops and they get in tool calling loops and they don't know what they're doing. If I switch to Kimi K2, it usually is a very easy win. That's not generally within the means of most people. And like Qwen 3, the 235B and the 480B are both really great. I don't know. I like bucketing tasks as well. So like smaller tasks I'll give to smaller models and larger tasks I give to like Kimi K2. Does that make sense? The problem is like it's a trillion parameters, so it's really difficult to be able to run.
So how much VRAM, like what kind of setup for an average person?
We determined he has less VRAM than I do, but I think he has more RAM than I do.
Yeah, so with mixture of experts models, you can force the CPU to take on the actual MOEs. You can take it, or the MOE layers, which leaves the rest of the model available to RAM. It really speeds it up. But like, I don't know how many people are looking for that amount of configuration when they're just trying to run something for vibe coding.
Yeah,
You
so
know what I mean?
if you're trying to run something for vibe coding, are you just running it locally on your laptop and you have enough RAM and GPU?
He has a separate machine.
I have a home lab.
Okay.
It's got a little over a terabyte of RAM altogether.
That's a lot.
So yeah, Kimi K2, it takes up 480 gigs just to load the model, and then the context window pushes it up to about 526 gigs.
Okay.
That's why it's out of reach for most setups, but like, I only have, 32 gigs of VRAM, and that's enough to take care of like the MOE layers if you just queue them up. And it gets like 20 tokens per second like that. So it's a little bit slower than if I were just in GPT-5, but I get to use like 1.5 million tokens within an hour and then see a 0.00 cost for that, and that's really nice.
Once you have 1,000.
Yeah, after you have a terabyte home lab. I don't know. The other thing with Crush, you can do Olama, so you can I could have set it up to run it on my Mac and do Crush. It's really easy. It's just right in their README. This is their crush.json, just a config. I had it set up to run locally, and then it didn't set up, and then OpenAI, blah, blah, blah. I think you can switch models, right? We know that, like, I think they've tested really well to say that as far as like the enterprise models, Claude is the best for coding. But some of these open source models are fine-tuned for other specific tasks, and that can also, for self-hosting, or even using like OpenRouter or whatever to Hugging Face to host them for you. You can get some benefits there if you have very specific tasks you're trying to refine on. Like I said, Claude Code is my daily driver at work. So like, it is my favorite, but I wanted to be able to vibe code from my phone. So the easiest way to set that up was with Crush.
I think if I were to add to that just real quick, some mid-size models that can fit on like a MacBook, like you could run it here. OpenAI GPT-OSS 20B and GLM 4.5 Air, I think are the two that I would go towards. If you have a little bit of it, like just a teensy bit beefier of a setup, you could do Qwen 3 next. It's 80 billion parameters. The reason I would go with those is because like I said, if you just need some help writing a function or a bash script or like finding where something is in your coding, like in your repo, you don't really need to ask Opus 4.1 for that. And those models knock it out of the park, even though they're little. And you can even have them do bigger tasks, like they're trained for tool calling. It's just, I mean, you've all experienced it probably. More parameters means it ends up behaving better.
One time I tried to use a large, a 32 gigabyte Qwen model, and it just regurgitated the system prompt back at me. And I think that was because I set it up wrong. But user error. Anyway, cool. Any other questions while we're doing this? I just reset my server, so.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of different models and whatnot, and for me, like, I feel like I'm in the basics. I kind of just use Claude Sonnet or 4.1, and as new ones come out, I kind of switch to the newer ones. Does like anyone have like a good resource, or someone's kind of done that? Saying,
Chris is my resource. I'm just.
There are a bunch of repos on Hugging Face where you can see performance statistics. They have the LLM leaderboard, they have the LLM arena, and then you have like people and companies that do quants for local hosting, like Bartowski, where they'll generally put in a blurb of like how well does this model perform compared to other models, right? Or you can just go look at the leaderboards, and honestly, the leaderboards are all benchmark based, so even going down to like 500th place, you're still gonna get really good performance out of it.
Sorry, I'm making Pedro do a web search.
and I was just curious about your context. I mean, since you're using Claude, do you just have Claude.md, and
For me, yes.
are you using any other like models for context? Are they preloading that?
So
Or some?
Crush does a similar thing to Claude.md, where they will do a Crush.md. So if you just do Crush,
I think it's Crush in it to make it happen the first time.
yeah, or you can do Command P init. So yeah, I just do Control P, and then if you just do initialize project, it will set up a Crush.md for you, just like the other one. And it kind of, again, the Claude.md, Crush.md, they're going to do best practices, similar patterns, code structure, stuff like that. And then you can go and add it later. You can edit it later. I wasn't going to mention this. We had a private training day at work from the guy, somebody from the Claude Code team. And he said that's essentially what he recommended using the Claude.md for, essentially best practices, favorite packages. There is a tools thing for tools, but like test suites, things like that, that should either go in the ClaudeMD or it hooks, essentially as a tool call type thing. So that, but yeah, it's just, and then basic code structure, not too much, I don't think, because it does allow you to, it will search the README quite regularly, but it's just stuff like that.
Have you been using the README like as somewhere for like a place that developers could go to read it, as well as like obviously?
For work? Yes, no, so at work, this is my favorite thing to do, is at the end of a task, I'll say, okay, update the README with the changes that have been made. And then sometimes I'll be like, and update your Claude.md as well, just force it. It doesn't be and I typically my READMEs are like commands that develop install commands, structure, but they're always, the README is always developer friendly. Whereas Claude code should be human readable, but intended for the AI. It only really uses, the README, I always build it as developer documentation.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the struggle's been, so I feel like I've had like a separate set of docs for, we use Copilot, but for instructions.md, like to have it go through. And then as well, there's like the README, obviously for developers and whatnot. For me, I'm like just long-term maintainability to make sure they're always saying the same thing.
No, 100%. My README is 100% generated by AI. I have quit documenting things myself. I might put things in the terminal that I want it to say specifically, like certain commands or organization. But and then the Claude.md is for them. The other thing, the interesting thing, is I am the only one on my team that uses Claude Code. The other ones use Cursor. So you'll get, that's the one thing that I think is, I don't know, Todd got me hooked on this. It's kind of weird, is having multiple config files. And it's almost like, should we share that config or should that be part of the git ignore where it's personal? I don't know. We'll figure that out as we make these things work, I think. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure, well, I don't know, your team.
Want a shared one and then maybe a local one that overwrites the shared?
You can do Claude.mds in subdirectories and they reference those first. I know you guys use a shared one on your team for your stuff. Go ahead, Todd.
Most of these tools are actually moving towards just letting people do both. So you can do like a repo specific one or a project space specific
Yes,
one or a user specific
So
one.
Crush does that. They have a hierarchy path where they have local and then they have repo level and then they have a global actually. So you can set a config on your local machine and it just does that. Anyway, cool.
Wait, so why does this let you vibe code from your phone? Like,
Because I can SSH into it from my phone. It's on a Raspberry Pi. You missed that part, Eric.
I did. Wait, so what do you use to SSH from your phone? Do you have an Android phone?
Terminus?
Nice.
Terminus, is that what it is? I always say as if there was an N in there, and that's why AI gets me.
Well, Terminus is with an OS, it's another thing. So
Okay.
Terminus is the app.
Yeah, Terminus is what I use, and then Tailscale is my home VPN.
Of course it is.
There's a bajillion SSH clients on Android too.
Nice.
Cool.
You got a question real quick?
Yeah, I've never heard CloudMD until today. So it sounds like you mostly use it for how to structure your project. And when you want to register a tool, you just like say run this command on the tool, or I don't know, like
So they
how you use
do
it.
tool calls in CloudMD, but actually with Claude Code, I believe there is like a tools. Is it another agent?
There's a JSON for tools.
There's a JSON for tools. There's a JSON for tools, the other one. There's also, you can register tools and agents, and actually probably I need to update Claude Code. I bet you that this local one is not updated with all the correct commands because they like to add them. But it's just a tools command where you register tools. And it will manage that for you. So I'm sure it stores it in the Claude MD because that's the only way it has that shares memory between sessions. But you don't actually have to add it. The tool will add it for you in a way that they have deemed digestible. Go ahead.
I've had issues where I have a project at home and I set it up with a architecture diagram or document and performance document. And it goes really well for a while, and then after a week or two, it like switches gears and just goes in a totally different direction than it was originally going. Then have you seen that kind of thing where it just diverges from the original plan?
I mean, I handhold it a lot. I'm really scared of AI. So I've never actually given it that much freedom. Like essentially, it only ever has the freedom to build, it's my daily driver, but I would say, it has never had more context than what I would ever put into a single Git commit. So I haven't had it build me a whole repo, and I haven't had it architect a new feature or anything like that. It was just like, okay, for this commit, I'm building X. That goes in there.
You notice this whole time she's been vibe coding, but she didn't turn on YOLO mode.
I didn't.
Some vibe coder you are.
Yeah, for real.
It's because I'm terrified of AI.
Commit your keys to prod, come on, do it.
Last thing I wanted was for me to go to Discord and it just explode on me. So, yeah, I've never done anything outside of a Git commit. And the reason being is I guess I'm still 90%, it's my daily driver. I'm shipping this code to production and I do not want it to break, right? Like there are some things that I've just completely let it do whatever it wants, and yeah, it redoes them, essentially. It's just like, oh no, whatever. But as far as for code I ship to production, it never has more context than the Git commit, and sometimes I think I've only had it self-compact history, which it does when the history gets to more than 100 and something messages, twice. So I'm also not, and that could be the other thing too, is it doesn't have all of history. So decisions you've made in the past is completely forgot about because it will self-compact things, and then it chooses what part of history is important and what part of history is not important. So.
You're constantly creating a new session, essentially? So
Yes.
It's a very small context.
Yeah, essentially, I mean, half of the time I exit Claude Code to run the Git commit itself because we use Graphite at work and it doesn't like to run Graphite commands. So I do as soon as I hit the commit, I completely close the session and it loses memory, which sucks for debugging Kubernetes, but I really shouldn't be using Claude Code for that. Yes, Todd?
You can do -- continue.
You can.
Pick it right back up.
So there's also a thing, resume, and it'll let you go back to previous things as well. So I just don't do that because I learned about that today.
So you will do it.
So I will probably be leveraging that when I exit things to commit and go back, and I haven't actually completely restarted, but yeah, like I said, I handhold it a lot. I've never turned on auto edit or YOLO mode or anything before, just because the last thing I want is to not know what's in my code repo and then have an outage in production. So I'm paranoid. It will happen, Eric, don't laugh.
That seems like a good amount of paranoia.
Only if I want to keep my job. Okay. Any other questions? Yes, Eric?
Have you had any success with MCP servers?
So I am also terrified of MCP servers.
Even local ones.
No, that's not why. I think they're great. So the reason that I haven't done anything with MCP, specifically with Claude, is I am terrified of giving Anthropic my data. That's what I'm actually afraid of. And I want to do MCP with Pedro before I really do MCP outside of anything. There's lots of people who've had experience with MCP. I am not one of them.
In the age of AI, do you think it finally makes sense to use Kubernetes?
Hey.
Is it finally?
What that was.
Does it take the edge off enough that it's workable?
I have been trying to redo my Kubernetes cluster in my home lab for 6 months.
That's all I needed to hear.
Cluster on, and I've been fighting Kubernetes at work for 3 days now. I love Kubernetes for what it gives you when you're not the one setting it up, just because I don't have that experience. But it's great otherwise. It's great when somebody else sets it up. No, but my opinion on that is AI tools are not designed for the stateless nature of Kubernetes. They are very stateful. So they tend to work better on things like a VM or a hard.
Let's fight.
God, you can make it work. I'm talking about the way they're built by other people.
Because AWS has like an EKS MCP server, and I was like, oh, maybe I could ask it to do things.
It's terrifying. Go edit.
Like a surefire way to do it.
Cloud code, will you go spin up some cods for me?
I would love, just.
Do the whole thing, let's do it.
I mean, but for debugging, you use like read-only access.
Absolutely. Write me the Terraform, give me a cloud Kubernetes, no.
I want you to know that I tried to use Cloud Code to debug Kubernetes, my home lab, several times. I've had it try to help me with Helm and Terraform. Never, not one time has it successfully helped me with that. It has helped me, it can do Terraform if it's copying and pasting things for existing from the repo, and it can do Claude Opus itself, so the web UI, does a good job at least at helping me find what errors mean. But as far as like writing code, it's never worked for me. I wrote Terraform yesterday. Like I write my own Terraform and my own YAML and my own Helm just because I have found it really struggles with ops. And in my opinion, that is just training data. There is that stuff, especially for enterprises, is never open sourced.
It's never consistent enough to matter.
I agreed, but I just don't think it has a training set decent enough for LLMs to be able to do that effectively. So they're just working on templatization, which is why it can fill templates. It can, like, if you need it to like make you a values file, it does a pretty good job with that. But I don't think it doesn't do a good job making the Helms chart itself.
Interesting. Okay.
And I do use it to edit my values file all the time. Because it's usually just like change the name for me. And then do that across every environment. So then it takes it, 30 seconds to change 6 files that would have taken me 5 minutes. But cost savings in time. Okay. Any other questions? One more.
So what is your, this is for anybody, what is your typical monthly LLM usage usually amount to if you work full time with like a daily driver
I don't know. I haven't actually tracked how much I spend. I know that my sessions usually are about 60 cents, and I do probably, 10 sessions a day. So probably about $6 a day. So it's and how many days are we working a week? 20? So it's not cheap. It's $120. But how much are you spending? I don't know. We were talking the other day about how much it costs to get licenses for things. And a Cursor license is was it Cursor or was it Graphite? Graphite, which is what we use for our Git driver, is $40 a person per month. So it's and then Slack is also $40 per person per month. So if it's $100 per person per month, it's just, that's what they're paying for you to be an employee anyway. I do for personal, I have the Claude Pro subscription, which lets me do 500 calls an hour or something. I don't know. I don't even get close to using it because I do it mostly the work stuff work pays for. So yeah, I've never, I guess I did spend $5 on the Crush one recently. This one, gets billed more than Claude Code does. But, I guess about 120, how much do you spend a month on your Claude Code, Todd?
I have the Max Pro.
So you did get the subscription after you?
It's just $200 a month.
Yeah. You do
I
200.
loaded it, I originally, and I suggest people do this if they're not used to the workflow, load it up $100, $200, whatever you're willing to burn through. Work through that at whatever pace you can. Try to figure out how to build up your repertoire of using the tool to do all the things you can and figure out how to speed up your workflow. And then 200 a month is nothing because I'm essentially getting another programmer next to me worth of effort for that. And I'm not using it full time because that's my personal cost. But I'm using it literally right now. And I will do more while sitting here at this meetup than I would in 3 days without it. So is that worth what dollar amount to you? Only you can decide that. I'm not gonna argue with you on it, just
I spend $20 a month.
figure out where your line is.
Yeah, and it depends on, Chris, I'll get there. Don't worry,
Or spend $18,000 on an inference server, you can host no, I'm just kidding.
1,000? Who do you think I am?
So we'll get there, but yeah, that's, I spent about 120, I think, a month.
Okay, that's really useful.
About $6,000 on renewal.
Yes, like I said, I am very much on the same plane as Chris, where I like to self-host everything I can. So I am super excited to get Crush working with my self-hosted model, but it hasn't happened yet. So anyway, cool. We'll call that a, sorry, no rating, guys, for chat. Thanks for joining them.